The Mirror That Lied. In the grand halls of the ivory palace, where marble pillars gleamed and chandeliers dripped with crystal, there hung a mirror unlike any other. It was framed in silver vines, its glass polished so perfectly that no flaw could be seen. And yet, the truth was far from its reflection. The mirror lied. It did not show the world as it was, but as the viewer wished it to be. A tired queen saw herself young again. A cruel prince saw a noble ruler. A thief saw an honest man. And because the mirror's reflection was beautiful, no one ever questioned its truth. For years, the royal family relied upon it. The king sought its wisdom before war. Courtiers admired themselves before its glass. And in time, the people of the kingdom believed in its illusions more than reality itself. Then came Elena, a servant girl with no fine silks or golden rings, only a sharp mind and a heart that longed for truth. One evening, while dusting the mirror, she caught a glimpse of herself. But what she saw was not her own reflection. Instead of her freckled face and plain dress, the mirror showed a princess, draped in silks, a crown resting atop her head. Elena laughed at the absurdity. "You lie," she whispered to the glass. The mirror, silent for so long, whispered back, "I only tell the truth you wish to see." A shiver crawled down Elena's spine. She had seen how the royal family depended on the mirror's words, how they clung to its lies. If the mirror only spoke what people wished to believe, then the kingdom was built upon falsehoods. That night, as the palace slept, Elena returned to the mirror with a candle in hand. "What happens if someone refuses to believe you?" she asked. The glass shimmered, its silver frame quivering. The mirror had no answer. No one had ever dared question its visions before. Elena took a deep breath and placed her hand upon the cool glass, and for the first time, the mirror cracked. A single jagged line split its perfect surface. Then, the world around her shifted. The polished marble floors turned dull and cracked. The grand tapestries were worn and moth-eaten. The chandelier, once brilliant, was missing half its crystals. And the king, standing in the doorway, was not the mighty ruler he had always believed himself to be. His robes were frayed, his crown crooked, his face lined with age and worry. The spell of the mirror had broken. The kingdom had not been prosperous. It had been rotting beneath the weight of its own deception. And now, without its illusions, the truth could no longer be ignored. The palace awoke in chaos. Courtiers cried out in horror as they saw themselves not as grand and powerful, but as ordinary, flawed people. The prince, once arrogant and proud, looked upon his reflection and saw a coward. The queen, once beautiful and young, wept at the face she had long denied. The king turned to Elena, his voice a desperate whisper. "What have you done?" Elena stood tall. "I have only shown you what was already there." The people of the palace, though shaken, knew she was right. They had lived in a world of comfortable lies, but now they had a choice: to rebuild with truth or cling to the remnants of illusion. And so, with the mirror's power broken, the kingdom changed. The king ruled with honesty. The prince learned humility. And Elena, the servant girl who had dared to question, became the kingdom's wisest advisor. The mirror remained in the palace, its surface forever cracked. And though it no longer spoke, it held a lesson for all who dared look into it. A lie, no matter how beautiful, can never replace the truth.